I made close to 80% return on my first investment in Dubai real estate in just 2 years. Let me show you exactly the numbers and how I did it. Hi, my name is Samir. I moved to Dubai 4 years ago, and in 2023 I started investing in Dubai properties. Today I want to share my real experience and break down the numbers so that you can see what is really achievable. My first investment in Dubai was a 2-bedroom apartment in Dubai JVC in a building called Bloom Tower. I bought it for 1.2 million and financed 60% of it with a mortgage. Now let's dive into the numbers. Alright, so for my first investment in Dubai, I chose the location JVC, Jumeirah Village Circle. So that's this location here on the map, this circle here. We can see that it's not very far from most of the point of interest in Dubai. So Marina Mall is about 20 minutes away when there's no traffic. DIFC, Business Bay is about 25 minutes away. The airport, you can reach it in 30 minutes when there's no traffic. So overall, good location. Strategically located. It's well connected, especially with this Al Hayr road here that connects it directly to Business Bay and DFC in 20 minutes. So basically it's a location that I believe a lot of families would consider because they can go to work, they can drop their kids to school, and at the same time it offers a decent quality of life at an affordable price. If we compare the price of JVC to more premium areas like downtown or Marina, it's a lot more affordable over there, but it still offers a very decent quality of life. So we can see on the map it has a few parks, there is a mall, and most of the buildings are pretty recent. They all have like everywhere in Dubai you have your gym, your pool, and all of that. So that's a good place to be. It doesn't seem crowded, even though people seem to complain about the traffic over there. So remember that all the buildings, all the townhouses, all the villas, they all have their own parking spots. So you won't, when you walk over there, basically it's still very decent. You don't feel like it's very crowded. You don't feel like people park here everywhere and all of that. You have a lot of space to just walk around in the streets. It's very decent. It's a decent place to be honest. And something to note as well is JVC will have a couple of metro stations in the future. So they don't have any at the moment. So you need a car or take the bus, but mostly, taking the bus is not very convenient, I believe, for this area. But if you have a car, you are well connected to the rest of Dubai. These metro stations here, for me, it was not a main decision factor because I believe they are planned for 2030 or even later. And I was already planning my exit strategy, which would be before the arrival of these metro stations. So not a big decision factor for me. So my first investment, I chose this building called Bloom Tower A. So again, here for me, I believe it's a very good location for JVC itself because we are very close to the exit of JVC. So you can go to Al Hayr Road in a couple of minutes only because you just take that street and you go and you reach Al Hayr Road. So you can exit and enter JVC in a matter of minutes. So that's a good plus to have because, like I said, people tend to complain about traffic, especially inside JVC itself. So here, that's Bloom Tower A, that's this tall building over here. And then we have Bloom Tower B and Bloom Tower C. So B and C are mostly for studios and 1-bedroom apartment. Bloom Tower A has all the 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom apartments. My first investment is actually a 2-bedroom apartment in this tower. And we can see it looks pretty nice, it looks pretty modern, recent, and overall a good feeling as well. When you compare to a lot of buildings at that time in 2023, in JVC, it was one of the good one I visited. There's not many very nice options in JVC at that time. What we cannot see here on the map is that actually already now there are a lot of other buildings that have been completed in this area here by Bingati, which also offers very good finishing, very good interior, and a very good quality of life. And they are a direct competition, I believe, to Bloom, because yeah, they are very decent building, and more recent, I would say, and probably a bit more modern even. So for Bloom, why I chose this apartment, one is because Bloom has a very decent reputation as well. So it's not as prestigious as Shoba would be, or Ellington would be, or even Emma would be, but it's a local developer that has built very decent projects in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And I visited a couple of them. So I visited Bloom Heights and Bloom Towers. They're both in JVC, both similar finishing and very good vibe overall. It has this very nice plaza level that connects the 3 towers with 2 pools, gym, sauna. Bloom Tower A even has its own dedicated gym on the 24th or 25th floor with a nice view and all of that. So very decent place to be. So let's have a look at some data now. These graphs here, it shows the price evolution of the square feet in Dubai for the past many years. And what we can see here is that in 2023, when I bought that property, prices have been increasing already for 2 years at a very rapid pace. And so that was, for me, that was a risk, because as we can see in Dubai, price can go up, but they can go down very rapidly too, or they can stay stable for many years. So when the price has increased already for that long, I was not very sure that it could continue to go up for many years, or at least not at this rapid pace over here. But overall, I still decided to go ahead after finding a good deal, a good entry price. For the demand side of things, so in Dubai, overall the demand has been increasing forever. The population has always been growing at a very rapid pace as well. I mean, there's about 100,000 new people coming to live in the country every year for the past few years. So that's very impressive, right? 2023 we had 3.7 million people living here, and that's already increased to 3.9 million people. That's a very rapid increase for for a relatively small city. Similarly, the number of tourists arriving every single year is increasing at a rapid pace as well. So about 10% increase from 2023 to 2024, right? Reaching 18 million tourists in a single year. That seems crazy, but that's what's happening. And so this is for the demand side of things, because all these people need a roof at the end of the day. This investment is going to be a short-term rental for me. So I was also looking at the Airbnb listing data for the past few years. So in 2022 we had 13,000 Airbnb listings in Dubai. This increased to 18,000 in 2023 and to almost 25,000 to 2024. So here there's 100% increase in Airbnb listing in just 2 years. That's crazy, because that means that the supply of Airbnb listing is growing at a much more rapid pace than the tourist arrivals, and so it seems to be like a very popular thing in the past couple of years to do Airbnb in Dubai. If we look now at the supply side of things, because we just look at the demand with the population and with the number of tourists. If you look at, so here I built those graphs. So this website here is made by myself. It's just the data that I've been personally used for the past few years when I buy properties in Dubai, so I decided to put it online, to use it for free for everybody. So there's some data that helps to analyze the market. In terms of units, apartments available in Dubai, apartments being handed over in Dubai year after year in JVC, we can see that the supply is very, very high. In 2024, we had 6.7 thousand units handed over. In 2025, it will be 5,000, and then 3.8 thousand in 2026. So these are very, very, very high numbers. So the supply is very high. So we could expect some correction in the prices, and overall, just because of the supply, it probably take a few years for the market to absorb this kind of supply. Villas, so not very interesting for us, but most of the villas were built long time ago in JVC. It seems like nowadays developers are more like focused on buildings. And if we look at the room tower building itself, so it was handed over in 2021, and we can see that the prices have not been increasing much for the first 2 years. And there is like a 5% increase per square feet from 2021 to 2022, but then it stays stable. So people were not making that much money very fast with that building, even though in Dubai overall, like we saw that at the same time in 2021 to 2022, the price was increasing rapidly. So probably in other areas of Dubai or other specific building. Now let's look at the numbers of the transaction I actually did. So we will try to find the transaction. So that's the one. So that's the apartment I bought in August 2023 over here. Let's see the details. So this website is also interesting. DX being tracked. It gives us some very good transaction data. And we can see the transaction, the history of one specific apartment. So that's very good. In my case here, I bought this apartment 1.2 million in August 2023. So it will be almost 2 years, so from 2 years from now. And I bought it from someone who bought it previously from the developer in 2022. And I bought it actually at a lower price than he himself got it from the developer 1 year before. I will show you why I was able to negotiate a decent price on this one. So this document that you see here is the statement of account. So that's the document I got from the previous owner to complete the transaction. And what we can see here is that he bought it actually not in July 2022, but in January 2022, and he bought it for 1.258 million. And he bought it with a payment plan. So he bought directly from the developer. If that payment plan, so he paid 10% immediately, then 15% on the handover, which was already done. And after that, he had to pay 1.56% every single month, which is the equivalent of 20,000 dirham per month. Right? That's a very high amount to pay every single month, and he did that. His payment plan for until 2026. So that's like 48 months of payments at 20,000 dirhams. So that's a very heavy commitment. And if you don't have the cash every month. What we cannot see here, I had to hide this portion, is the detail of the previous owner. So he was actually a person from Europe. and that person did not even see the apartment. Actually, did not even come for the sale when I was when I bought the apartment. He gave the power of attorney to his real estate agent, and so the agent handled everything for him. And to me, I believe that's why he didn't make a good deal, and he actually lost a lot of money, I believe, on this deal. And the reason why he was selling is because you can see here, because of this payment plan, he was late on the payment almost every single month. He ended up having to pay 3,000 dirham of late fee, and probably got like some warning from the developer, because in Dubai, if you don't pay on time, the developer, you sign a contract, I think, and there's the developer has a right to charge you late payment fee, or even to seize your apartment and resell it or something like that. So he decided to sell. I was just there at the right time. I was visiting an apartment over there. Actually in Bloom Tower, I visited more than 10 apartments. And it's just that I was there at the right time when his agent decided to, when he decided to sell, his agent was on site when I was there too. We had a chat, and I was the first person to see the apartment. I made an offer on the same day, and the owner accepted. So that apartment was never listed on Property Finder or Bayut or any other website. So it was just a deal that happened very fast on the spot over there. So now let's do some calculation to see how to make this investment profitable, because we bought it from somebody who was actually losing money with that investment. So that was also a little bit scary for us, because we saw that he sold it at a price that was lower than he bought it, when most prices in Dubai were going up, when everybody was telling us, if you bought many years ago in Dubai, imagine how rich you will be. Imagine you bought last year, 2 years or 3 years ago, you would have been making so much money. And then we realized that actually, no, there are also people who are losing money in Dubai with real estate, and we bought from somebody who was losing money. So now our job was to make this investment profitable. So let's jump to a calculator. So this calculator here, is something I built as well on the same website, Markan Academy. So you can use it. It's free. First we just enter the data. So I bought this apartment for 1.2 million. The size is 1185 per square feet. 1185 square feet. The difficult portion for me was finding a financing for this apartment, because of my situation. I'm not employee, and it was very difficult to get a bank that would follow me on this deal here. But I managed to find one. It's just that the conditions were not very appealing, but no choice, so we still decided to go ahead. I had to put 40% down payment, and they offered me a very, very high interest rate of 6.25%. I took a loan on 20 years, and that's it. So a lot of interest to pay, but we were finding, we were pretty sure that we could still make it work. Rental income. So what we can see here is that the previous owner was renting this apartment for only 70,000 dirhams. So this, for him, it was a bad deal, because he could only cover 3.5 months worth of payment plan with this amount. So that means he had like a lot of money that would be was coming out of his pocket every month, and not very ideal, I believe, for an investment. And so in our case, we decided to go to optimize as much as possible the rental. So in 2023, that apartment could have been rented 110,000 dirham. Even though it increased a lot, right, from 70,000 to 110, just the market doing its thing in Dubai. But we wanted a bit more than that, so we decided to go for short-term rental. And here again, it was a risk and a bit scary for us, because that was actually the first time, me and my wife, we would be doing Airbnb or short-term rental, right? We have been investing in real estate for some time, but we have always been renting on long-term. So that would be our first try short-term rental. But overall, it has been a successful try. So we did everything ourselves. We didn't go for agencies and all of that. And then we use agencies to help us calculate the potential return and all of that. A lot of them promise like crazy return. Like on our side, we managed to make 142,000 on the first year with more than 95% occupancy rate. I'm not sure if we've been renting too low. It's possible, but we made the money that we wanted to make. To be honest, on this deal, 142,000. This is after paying all the utilities and the taxes and all of that. So overall, we were planning to keep that apartment for a maximum of 5 years. For a reason that probably I will try to. I'll make another video on why it's probably better to switch from one property to another in Dubai, because from my research is very there is a risk of depreciation after some time when building gets a bit old in Dubai. On top of that, in Dubai you have to pay the service charges, which is that's the cost of the maintenance, basically, of the building itself, right? There's on each building you will have like a security, you have like cleaning people, you have like lifeguards and the swimming pool, and the overall maintenance of the lift and the AC and all of that. There is some fees to pay. You pay per square feet. In this building is 12 dirham per square feet, which we'll see exactly how much it comes. It's about 14,000 to pay every year. In my case, I had to, I managed to include the DLD fee and the agency fee in my mortgage, so that saved me some money, right? Less money to come out of my pocket to pay DLD and agency fee. They still finance like 60% of it. Overall, I borrowed for that investment 763,000, which is, that's a mortgage of 5.5k per month, or 67k per year. And just for information, if I would be keeping this investment for 20 years, I would be ending up paying about 576,000 dirham just of interest. So that's very, very, very high. Additionally, when you take a mortgage in Dubai, you need to pay the MRA insurance and the home insurance. MRA is your life insurance, but if something happens to you, the MRA will take over your mortgage, saving basically the trouble for your family. And home insurance, not much explanation here, but overall I'm paying 2,000 dirham worth of insurance for that specific mortgage every single year. So if we look at the detail of the cost, I paid 48,000 to DLD, 5,000 to the trustee office when you get the title deed, and 2,000 for the mortgage registration fee. So that's a mandatory fee when you get a mortgage in Dubai. You need to pay 0.25% of the amount borrowed. I think it goes to DLD as well. Yeah, it goes to DLD. Bank admin fee, so in my case, I think usually it may not be that high, but for me, I had to pay 1% of the amount borrowed directly as a bank admin fee. Once again, I had only one bank that would follow me, so no much options, and they still decided to go ahead. And on top of that, again, another fee is the property evaluation. Whenever you buy with a mortgage, the bank will get a third party to come and inspect your property, to evaluate it, to make sure that you are buying at the market price and not higher. They will finance usually the market price of the property, not higher. In my case, the evaluation went good. They evaluated the property at a higher price than I paid, so all good. Agent commission, so the real estate agent, they take their share of the deal as well, 2%. That was 25,000 dirham for me to pay, and overall that's basically 90,000 dirham worth of fees just to acquire a property. So if you think about it, that's crazy high as well, especially for for people who keep the property, like the previous owner who bought that property, kept it for 1 year, even sold it for less than he bought it for. Seems like that's a high price to pay. In his case, he probably didn't pay the agent commission, because when you buy from developers, usually you don't have to pay such thing. But still that's still a lot of money. Overall, because I used a bank to finance that deal, I had to put 515,000 dirham worth of 515,000 dirham from my own pocket. That's my investment. So even though the total transaction cost is 1.28 million, on my side, my investment is 515,000 dirham, right? So that's the money that I'm looking at multiplying as much as I can. And now that we know that, basically, my plan was to try to double that money. And I wanted to double it as fast as possible, but while still being realistic. So let's see how fast we could do that. So in terms of investment expectation, I was banking for approximately 5% of capital appreciation per year for 5 years. We saw that actually in Dubai, the capital appreciation overall was a lot higher than that since 2021. But yeah, I wanted to stay conservative and go for 5%. Rental appreciation, rental is supposed to increase every year if we manage to increase the nightly rate of Airbnb. Now the issue is that since there is more and more competition, it's may not be always the case. So I think we'll go for something a bit lower than 5% of increase per year. We can go for 2%. The inflation here, we put this number mostly to help us to foresee the evolution of the maintenance costs and the service charges, which were usually indexed on the inflation. All right, so let's see the graph now. Now that we have put all this data, this application just draws some graph for us to see visually where we could be. So here we put 5 years of investment, so that's why we have 5. We have 5 times the bar charts are here, and you have 2 columns every time here. So you have this green column on the left, which is the income, and on the right is all the expenses, right? So the goal is obviously to have more income than expenses every year, and to make sure that this difference here will basically be your cash flow. So in our case, 142,000 dirham worth of income on the first year. On top of that, we reimburse the mortgage principal, 20,000, 19.8 thousand dirham. So it's still an expense, even though at the end it goes in our pocket. Then we had to pay the service charges, 14,000, maintenance, 6,000, interest, very high interest rate. So we have to pay 47,000 dirham of interest every single year. Top of that, the insurance again, and the vacancy cost. So we added the vacancy cost because that's just for more experience. Even though you can plan your rental as high as you want, there will be some time where you don't get any rent. When you just bought the property for a couple of weeks, you need to paint, you need to clean, you need to furnish it, or whenever you will want to sell the property, you will want to do some renovation and all of that. So there will be some time where there is a cost when you don't get any rent. So this help sees the evolution of the income and the expenses over the years, or in our case on 5 years, and then we have the sum of the total of everything here. So in our case, if we were to keep that property for 5 years and we managed to increase the rental by 2% every year, then after 5 years we would have got about 738,000 dirham of income. Out of it, we would have to pay all these expenses here. So the expenses are 75,000 just for the service charges, 31,000 for the maintenance in general, 222,000 for the interest, 112,000 will go to the mortgage principal and 10,000 for the insurance and some for the vacancy cost. Right, but overall, what we can see is that we are still making money after paying all these expenses, and even after paying the interest and the principal, we are still getting some positive cash flow over here. So that's the good part of it. So overall, here this green column here is the net income. So that's the amount of money that's left on our bank account every year after we have paid everything, including the mortgage, including the principal, including the interest and everything. Right, so we are still positive of 45,000 dirham on the first year, and this is supposed to increase slightly over here. And the purple column is the net operating income. So if it's just the operating income, like if there was no financing, no mortgage to pay, no principal, no interest, that would be the profit that we would be making every year. Okay, in no case, not so interesting because we go for the mortgage all the time anyway. And yeah, so overall, after 5 years, we would be getting 700,000 of income, 489,000 of expenses. Out of it, 112,000 would be towards the principal, so that's all money at the end, and the net income. So after paying all those expenses, we would still be positive of 249,000 dirham after 5 years, and which makes a net gain. So if we include basically the income, the net income plus the principal reimbursed, we would be making 362,000 dirham after 5 years. Right. So here, that's the interesting part of it is we can see that we are making money with this investment in several aspects. So there are two aspects that we can see here. One is the net income, we could call it the cash flow, and the mortgage principal. And these two only together will bring us 362,000 dirham after 5 years of investment. Remember that we put from our own pocket 515,000, so that's I mean, we are almost double already from there. So let me just 362 on 515. That's basically 70%. So here we are supposed to make a 70% gain just with the cash flow and just with the principal repayment. Okay, so there are some other graphs here, so you can play around with this. I will ignore those for now. I'll just focus a bit more on this one. And yeah, so this graph that I built here, it shows me my net gain over time. This time not including only the net income and the mortgage principal reimbursed, but on top of that, the capital appreciation, right? So that's the third aspect of the way we make money with real estate on our sites, right? So we have the net income, the cash flow that we get. We make money because we are also paying the mortgage principal, and we make money because over time the property is appreciating. So if we were to sell it, we could make some money with we could sell it at a higher price than we bought it, and that's a profit. What we can see here, first we start with a red dot, red rectangle here, because when we just bought the property, remember there was a lot of fees. So that's a cost. So when you just buy the property, you're actually at a loss. In our case, there was 35,000 dirham of loss on the year zero, basically, when we just bought it. Because when you just bought it, when you just buy the property, you pay, but you don't yet get any income. After 1 year, we've rented the property. We paid the mortgage principal with the rental. We made some profit, which we call the cash flow. And we targeted a capital appreciation of about 5% per year, which would have been the equivalent of 60,000 dirham for the first year. So that means if after year 1, if I was to sell my property and this number would be realistic, I would have made a gain of 89,000 dirham, which 515 would have been 17% gain. Yeah, I mean it's still very good, but I mean too risky, too troublesome to me to just go for a 1-year investment, to be honest. Yeah, so the plan was to keep it for 5 years, and if everything went fine for 5 years, we can see that after 4 years already, our net gain is already close to 500k, 505k actually. So we are almost doubling our money already after four years and maybe a month or two. Because after all this time, we would have paid close to 200,000 worth of. I mean, we would have got 200,000 worth of net income, the cash flow, 258,000 worth of capital appreciation, and 87,000 dirham worth of principal paid. That's 500k already. So we are close to our goal of doubling our money in 5 years. And if everything goes fine, after 5 years we have made like 658 on 515. So that's 127% gain. So we have more than double our money after 5 years if this plan goes fine. And I mean that was the plan. And but yeah, now nothing really goes as planned in life. So now we are 2 years later here, and let's see where we are, right? So that's the original plan, the original strategy or guideline when we just entered with this property. And now we can have a look at what's happening with those property in Dubai. Okay, so first of all, we could see here already that we enter that property. So this is the graph of all the transactions in Bloom Tower A. So we entered here. We saw that we bought at even below this market price here of 1045. We bought at 1012 dirham per square feet, and we can already see here that the price has been increasing already. That's about 20% increase already, right? From 2023 to 2025, the price per square feet in Bloom Towers have increased by 20%, which is more than. And here, I've not loaded the latest data, so I think I have the data until February. We are already in May, and we can look at maybe Property Finder. We have more recent data when it comes to the recent transactions. If we look at the last transactions in Bloom Tower A, so now we can see that the actual average price per square feet in Bloom Tower A is 1.277 dirham, 1,277 dirham per square feet. That's a lot higher than what I bought it for. Basically, it tells you that you can sell this apartment. This one is smaller than the one I have, and it's sold for 1,465. So if I do a simple calculation here, 1,185. So that means my apartment could be sold, if we manage to get this market price, for 1.5 million roughly, right? 1.5 million, if you think about it in terms of capital appreciation, that's 300,000 dirham of appreciation. Remember, I bought it for 1.2 million, so 300,000 dirham of appreciation. Basically, we have already reached my 5 years target in just 2 years, right? So that's crazy. That means the appreciation here by net gain after 2 years is a lot more than what I planned it to be. We can maybe modify this thing and now maybe see exactly what would be happening. So we will, if we hold the property for 2 years, right? Why not 5 years anymore? And the capital appreciation, let's see if we can 13%, slightly less. So that's equivalent to 12% appreciation per year. If you want to make like an appreciation of 300k after 2 years, is basically 12% of capital appreciation per year. That happened over the past 2 years. Now, because if I sell this property now, I would not be making the net income that I targeted over 5 years, so that's a bit of a loss there. And the mortgage principal, is, I mean, we reimburse a very small amount of it, but overall there's still a net gain of 400k in just 2 years, right? So if we look at those data here, that means after 2 years I would have made 93,000 worth of cash flow. My property has appreciated by 300k. I've paid 40,000 worth of principal, so my cumulative gain is 400k. And remember that I invested 515,000 dirham only. So now the cumulative wealth of this investment is close to 1 million dirham, 919k after only 2 years, which is basically 1.78x my investment, so 78% gain after 2 years. This obviously is if we manage to sell with 300 at 300,000 with a 300,000 dirham worth of capital appreciation. So if we can sell it at if we can sell that apartment at 1.5 million. So yeah, the apartment is not sold yet, and that will be the next step for us. The reason that we want to sell now is because that we are considering selling now is it's just not possible that the market will continue to appreciate that much over time. It's possible that actually the market will start correcting, and if there is a correction, we lose that capital appreciation. And in another video we'll see that actually building, once they start depreciating, the depreciation goes on and on and on and on. It takes very long for them to recover. The new buildings the new buildings tends to captivate all the interest of the new investors, and the older building they just start depreciating for many years. So now that we have been able to make some good money on the rental income, we have reimbursed our mortgage without adding any additional money from our pocket, and we have been able to make some good capital appreciation, it would make sense to secure that profit by selling the property and investing somewhere else. So maybe in another property, or even in different platform, or different type of investment. It could be stocks, it could be gold, it could be Bitcoin, it could be just a saving account, or just we haven't thought about it yet, but yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, so that's it for this video. Whenever I have any news, whenever I have sold the apartment, or if I fail to sell it or whatever, I will be adding another video, and you can feel free to first play a bit with my website, which is free and which is still in development. It's nothing very fancy, nothing very professional, but it helped me a lot, and I believe it can help other people too. So hopefully you can find it useful. And if you have any questions, please just drop it in the comment. And please subscribe to my new channel. Thank you so much. Have a good day.